This is when the hot flashes start. And I don't think I've experienced a true hot flash yet, but when I've had it described to me, it's almost like, it's not like when it's hot outside and you just get hot and you're sweating. It's like, internally you feel like you're in an oven
cooking,
like inside of you.
Yeah.
So
the only time I've had one is postpartum, and it always would happen at night, and you just wake up and you're just like, I am sweating and hot and I can't cool off.
I actually think I kind of did when I started TRT a few times. Like, welcome to the Bacon, Bibles, and Barbells podcast. I'm Coach Justin, joined by Coach Emily and Coach Amanda. Today, we are talking about perimenopause. Is it for you? But we're going to talk through some of the potential indicators, symptoms, what you can do about it. What to do about it would be a summary of all the other podcasts we've probably done. But like what to watch out for, that kind of thing. Some women find themselves, I think, in modernity experiencing it maybe a little bit earlier than women in the past may have done due to a whole lot of factors that just involve all the hormone problems that we experience in modernity due to our environments, lifestyles, etc. So we're going to talk through, I think, first some of the symptoms maybe to look for. Obviously, if you do a little Googling, these will be pretty similar. They pretty much overlap with a lot of pregnancy systems too, or symptoms too, I think. So, because if it was a Venn diagram, it'd be like an 80% overlap for most of it. So, I don't think any of us here is necessarily in perimenopause, but it's probably on the horizon for.
It's on the horizon for close. At least two of us.
Yeah, for two of the three of us. So it'll happen someday. So let me describe perimenopause too. It's a term. I think it's a more I don't want to say modern term, but it hasn't been around super long. The concept of menopause has been around forever, like probably thousands of years, because there's an understanding of when women are no longer fertile and their cycle shuts down and things like that, and general understanding of what's going on there. And I remember probably 20 years ago, it was, I think, more called pre-menopause. Mm-hmm. But I think that perimenopause is kind of a more recent term that's been used to describe what I think was pre-menopause before, because pre-menopause kind of implies that you're not in it yet. And you're not really in perimenopause, but you are beginning it. And so I think it's sort of an understanding that like the things that menopause does and are beginning to happen. And this can happen can happen in a year, or it can happen over a decade or more. A lot of factors behind that, and we'll get into, of course. But it is inevitable. If you're a woman, it will happen someday. And, what can you do about it? That sort of thing. And also what to kind of look out for. I think normally on the earlier end, women are experiencing this, age 40 would probably be about the earliest that we would normally see it, I think. But a lot of women are beginning to experience it, I think, in their mid 40s in particular. And then by 50, usually you're getting into it, with menopause completing typically sometime in your mid 50s or somewhere about there. And this is, I don't want to go into some of the details. I was about to digress a little bit, but so what are the main symptoms that a woman of these ages could potentially be on the lookout for to indicate like maybe this is perimenopause?
Yeah, you almost have to think of it like on a spectrum. This might be why they changed it from pre-menopause to perimenopause, because I guess technically anybody who's not begun menopause is pre-menopause. So
you're born
perimenopause
with pre-menopause.
is, I guess, like a stage of this spectrum that you kind of go through. I almost picture it like a up and down curve. Like, oh, now you're starting the menopause, and then you're going to come back down from it. Mm-hmm. So menopause being whenever menstruation actually finally ceases. But there's symptoms that lead up to that. Like it just doesn't stop, and then one day you just never get it again.
If only.
Right. So.
Oh, that was the last one. I guess we're done now.
Yeah, you may not know when the last one.
It was a 1 month transition, but we got
so
through
enjoy it. But yeah, it's like just as women, we have fluctuating hormones all the time throughout our cycles anyway. So it's almost like a lengthening of that, or, you know, as estrogen starts to drop more and you're not getting as much of that rise and fall you have is in your normal cycle, then other symptoms will arise. So a lot of women will complain about bloating during this phase. Estrogen having to do, well, estrogen dominance can cause a lot of digestive issues, but when it drops, that
Right.
can cause issues as well. So this is when the hot flashes start. And I don't think I've experienced a true hot flash yet, but when I've had it described to me, it's almost like it's not like when it's hot outside and you just get hot and you're sweating. It's like
Yeah.
internally you feel like you're in an oven
Cooking.
Right.
like inside of you.
Yeah.
So
the only time I've had one is postpartum, and it always would happen at night, and you just wake up and you're just like, I am sweating and hot and I can't cool off.
I actually think I kind of did when I started TRT a few times. Like,
it's possible.
you get stupid because my estrogen cranked really hard because I started on a very aggressive protocol, which is where I should have ended up eventually. But I advise people to start low and work it up over many months. It's hot. Like it's like I had swollen feet. Like swollen feet were like you could poke your finger into it and it would leave an indent for a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I was very estrogenic there for a minute, and you will be fine, and then within like a minute, it's like it ramps up, and you feel like it's 120 degrees outside and you're baking in the sun, and it could be like doesn't matter what the temperature is in the room, you are just hot, and there's really no way you can make yourself feel cool. It's just like you're hot,
Yeah,
really hot.
Yep. The anxiety and brain fog come out a lot. And that could even have to do with progesterone levels shifting. Progesterone tends to affect anxiety and depression-like symptoms more than estrogen does. So there's stuff going on with every hormone you have when you're going through.
I think some of it's the declining testosterone with that. Because testosterone tends to counteract those things. You got testosterone going down. You've got progesterone sometimes spiking in weird ways.
Yeah.
And then if you're estrogenic, it will make the whole, it's like, it can be sort of a perfect storm.
Yeah. Some women experience it much more harshly than others. That's for sure. Everyone is going to have some kinds of symptoms, but some women really, really experience a lot of it. And that could have to do with what your lifestyle was like before. It could have to do with whether you were on birth control or not. A lot of those systems coming back online with stopping that can really affect the intensity of it. I think one of the biggest and most well-known symptoms, of course, is lower libido. And along with the hot flashes, I think hot flashes are definitely a well-known one. And the joint aches as well, which is interesting. Like estrogen is part of what keeps your joints lubricated. So having that go down can definitely cause the joint aches. There's a whole long list of whatever you could experience during this, but those are kind of the normal one, like pretty common ones that almost every woman will experience.
Yeah, in general, like what you're looking at here in perimenopause is just like the start of the loss of your sex hormones. And so what I see in a lot of women is that your progesterone tends to kind of start to go first, which then puts you in a high estrogen state. And that's why some of those symptoms are really coincide with like estrogen dominance, is because you are going estrogen dominant, but it kind of makes it worse because you're not always estrogen dominant. Sometimes you do have progesterone, but as your cycles start to space out more, can be kind of unpredictable of like when you actually have good progesterone levels and when you don't. And also when you're in a high estrogen state, it brings about, these other symptoms like that wired but tired feeling, the anxiety and things like that. It also can hurt your blood sugar, which also in turn, kind of makes you feel like PCOS. But then also your testosterone will start to tank and make some of those symptoms worse. And so it's that like weird flux of your hormones that are all slowly trending down, but some of them are trending down faster than others, and some of them don't start until later. And then it's like it's extremely rare that all of your sex hormones are just going to take this nice cascade down the hill all together evenly, where you barely notice that you went through menopause or that you went through perimenopause and have barely any symptoms. I have known a couple women where they actually were like, I had 2 hot flashes and then I didn't have a period. And then my doctor told me I was in menopause. And they were like, that was so easy. Honestly, those were some of the like super healthy ladies that I've have known, and really like good body weight, took care of themselves, were never on birth control, that sort of thing. There does seem to be some sort of reflection of hormone life earlier or hormone state earlier in life, reflecting how you go through this transition, that it can be a little rougher depending on kind of what your hormones were doing earlier in life. Not always. Genetics play a role, health state plays a role, all those things, but
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the healthier you are, the easier this transition is going to be. The less healthy you are, basically, your hormones are less stable when you're less healthy, and you get less of the fun ones and more of the less fun ones. I mean, I think that's a good summary in the sense that progesterone and testosterone tend to make you feel better at healthy levels, but where most women would be, like it's kind of almost a more is better within natural ranges. And estrogen, like, is gonna it's gonna be high probably, at least high in proportion to those, because those are going down. So ratios matter, and I think a lot of the symptoms just come down to the instability of the whole thing. Like month to month, as you go through this phase in life, you're going to have times when hormone production might even be pretty much where it should be, and then a few weeks later, it's way lower than it should normally be in that part of your cycle. And just instability alone can cause a lot of discomfort. The body likes to have regular rhythms. It likes to return to homeostasis. And this is the body kind of finding a new homeostasis. But along the way, it can be a bumpy ride as you have that instability. And again, it is very exaggerated by your health state. So the best way to manage it is with health. And we'll talk through some of the very specific things that do matter, in particular during the stage in life, and how to deal with it, and things like that. But at a high level, it's hormonal instability and decline of hormones in a disproportionate manner, basically.
Yep. And you can still be fertile during this time. So don't think you're off the hook.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can be. Yeah.
There's a number of women who are, maybe have been on birth control, which I don't advocate for, but they stop it because they're like, well, I'm going through menopause, and then they're pregnant at 50. So it does happen.
Yes, it does.
I think that when you're really healthy, you're not going to feel it as intensely, but you may notice it more, because typically when you're a healthy person, you're more in tune with what your body's doing anyway. So not notice it more as an intense way, but you may notice it before somebody who is unhealthy might notice it, because you're already much more aware of your body's functions and systems and paying attention to that. I think that's why sometimes people who are really healthy are like, they feel like the lack of sleep if they have a bad night's sleep, sometimes more than the healthy people, because they're so aware of it. They don't feel bad all the time like everybody else.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's that scene, if anyone's watched Parks and Rec, with I can't remember the name of the guy that's like the super health nut. He describes his body. Yeah, Chris, like as a finely tuned watch, and all it takes is one grain of sand to throw the whole thing off, and he's like hypersensitive to every little like sniffle or whatever else. It affects him so much more. That's an exaggeration, but I do think it's true of people that pay attention to their health, because you do get more in tune. And when you go from feeling good to feeling like, it is a more profound drop than someone that just walks around and is used to feeling not very good, but it's their normal and they think it's fine. To like, I mean, if your sense of well-being goes from 30% to 25%, you're not going to notice it that much. But if your sense of well-being goes from 80% to 50%, you notice it. Yeah. So let's talk through about some of the things that can be done about it. Now that I think we've described pretty well the symptoms can be. As far as diet, what are we looking for here?
I mean, it's going to be almost the same as we tell everybody else.
Oh my
So,
gosh, it's not specific. There's not a perimenopause diet. What about cycling your carbs with your cycle?
definitely not.
What about sticks of
Yeah,
butter?
definitely not sticks of butter. Absolutely not. Although if you do, just keep it next to your bed.
Sure.
Don't do that.
Yeah, and the hormone
well,
fairy will sprinkle dust on you and bless you.
That's right.
muscle loss is a real risk past the menopause. I mean, it's a
Yes.
real risk for men and women as you age, but this is really where it becomes noticeable in women
Yeah.
and much more rapid. So, to maintain any muscle that you have, you really need to keep your protein high. It's also not
Yeah.
impossible to build muscle past this phase. You can be
Yeah.
Most
well
definitely
past
not,
menopause
yeah.
and still build muscle. It may be a little bit more difficult, but you can keep it from wasting away by keeping protein high. You're telling your body, I would like to hold on to this lean mass. So
Yeah.
keeping the protein high,
And if you're beginning training too, you'll gain muscle.
for
Post
sure.
menopause, whatever. Like the best example to me, just because I don't know her real well, but I know her a little bit, and we've met in person a couple of times back when we lived in Michigan. Shelly Stetner, she's I think the first time she ever touched a barbell, which was to lift weights ever in her life, I think she was 65. She was over 60.
Wow.
She is a world champion powerlifter. She did not come from an athletic background. She was a psychologist. She did not have anything like athletic about her. And she read about how beneficial it was, got into it, and was like, I really love this. She hired one of the best nutritionists in the industry, Nathan Payton, who I've referenced on here before. Andy Baker was her coach. He used to be my coach. I think he's still coaching her. And she has set powerlifting records in the like 65 to 70, and in the 70 to 75 categories. She's deadlifted well into the 300s. And it's not like she was someone that was trying to preserve something. Like she gained all of that much later in life.
Yep.
And
That's,
she's
that's
not like
incredible.
I wouldn't even consider her hyper. She might be genetically a little bit gifted, but she's not hyper gifted.
Yeah.
Like she's just really works hard and is really disciplined.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen so many ladies at this point get in literally like the best shape of their life, like in the 40 plus age range. And it's just like there really is no limit.
Yeah. And that is one advantage women kind of have, is because you don't have the lack of androgen sensitivity that men do. With almost no hormones, you can still gain muscle mass, I think, in a way more effectually than men. And you can still recover, but women recover better than men anyway. And that extends to all ages. So like you can still do a lot. I think some people are like, oh, I'm too old. No, at any age you can gain muscle mass. You can, every muscle in your body is capable of hypertrophy. Every single muscle at any age. Yes, it's greater potential at 20 versus 60, but it's not as different as you might think.
Yeah, for sure. Going along with the bloating or digestive types of symptoms, adding some fiber is also really good.
Yeah.
You don't have to be anti-carb. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
the carbs and
Carbs help you digest. When your insulin gets raised, it causes gastric emptying. If you're on a high fat diet, not only does it slow digestion mechanically because fats just take longer to break down, you don't get that stimulation to the gut to empty itself.
Yeah. This is the age where I see a lot of women start to try keto or carnivore. I've even see some go vegan because they're like, I have to do something to feel better. And if they're thinking carnivore, I'm like, okay, at least you're thinking about protein, but you're missing something there. I'm not saying just go load up on Pop-Tarts or anything, but good healthy fruits and vegetables and whole grains if you're able to handle that. Rice is great. Lots of things like that. Potatoes, starchy vegetables. As long as you can handle them. Some people can't do the cruciferous vegetables, and that's fine. There's plenty of other options that are not just packed with sugar. Obviously, carbs turn to sugar in the body anyway, but you're not just eating refined sugar when we're talking about eating carbs.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
those things are going to help balance your blood sugar. And which is also a big risk whenever you're going through menopause is you're going to have blood
Yeah.
sugar changes as well with all of these other changes that are happening. So like everything
Right.
is just flipping to a brand new switch. I mean, just like whenever
Yeah.
we've gone through puberty,
Yep.
it's like the reversing of that in a way. So as long as that took and as uncomfortable as that was, like expect kind of the same thing in reverse.
Yeah, it's true.
But
I think a lot
worse.
of women try the like keto carnivore stuff at this age because like sometimes like you were talking about, they get some bloating or maybe now their body fat, like where it's distributed changes because the hormones are changing and hormones do play a significant role on like where you store body fat and things like that. So I think some women panic and they want to like flip the kill switch of like, I got to get this off right now. Like, I don't know what else to do besides like just eat meat or something or go keto. When really doing the high protein, high fiber diet is going to be your best friend for the reasons Amanda already mentioned. Another reason is just like the high fiber keeps your digestion moving. So it's going to take care of some of that bloating, but it's also going to take care of like how you metabolize that estrogen and make sure like you need to be having bowel movements if you're in an estrogen dominant situation, which you're going to be at least part of the time when you're in perimenopause. And that fiber is going to keep everything moving. Like you have to be pooping. I don't know how else to say it. You just have to be every day.
Right.
Like where you're going to end up in you're just not going to feel good. And it is going to make a rougher, just hormonal environment internally. And then also the fiber and the high protein keep you more satiated. And you do tend to get some cravings sometimes when those hormones are in really weird places. And so that's going to keep you more full and keep you from snacking, which is going to help your blood sugar. It's going to help just overall satiety. And so you don't gain extra weight from a calorie perspective because you're already struggling in the hormonal perspective. So this really is like the high protein, high fiber diet going through perimenopause. I think it's just like that should be your best friend.
You're more vulnerable to insulin sensitivity problems post menopause anyway, and in perimenopause. And fats just reduce insulin sensitivity. A high fat diet is going to reduce your insulin sensitivity. And specifically about the hormonal stuff, like the slower your digestion is as a woman, the higher your estrogen is going to be. And because you're losing the other hormones that are sort of antagonists to estrogen mentally, you will not feel as good on a high fat diet. A lot of people think they are because they went from eating trash to eating like a carnivore keto style diet. And yes, that kind of was an improvement because maybe you were eating a ton of junk, but you've only kind of gone halfway as far as the real benefits that you can get from your diet. You missed out on the opportunity if you only went to keto or carnivore or something like that. So what about other lifestyle factors? What would be prime considerations beyond diet that we should be like considering?
Just like we tell everyone else, hydrate, reduce your stress, get good sleep. Those things are going to take you very, very far. And to go along with the insulin stuff and the muscle retention, you're going to improve your insulin sensitivity if you do maintain more muscle. So since muscle, this all kind of ties together. Since muscle loss is a risk post-menopause, perimenopause, during menopause, that's going to affect the insulin. That's going to affect your digestion. That's going to affect, it's just going to be this cascade of effects. So you need to, of course, keep the protein high, do resistance training, drink a lot of water, get good sleep. Sleep is going to help retain the muscle as well. Sleep is the most anabolic thing you can do.
Man, true.
So that's going to be
big
where,
time.
and also the stats on how people eat after they've had a bad night's sleep are insane. Like just a couple hours down, it increases the percent of chance that you're going to choose something bad to eat by an astronomical number. And I can't remember what it is, but it's like, it's more than you think.
Yeah.
Even just a couple hours gone.
Yep.
Yeah. And your insulin sensitivity measurably reduces too. They've also tested that. Just 2 hours less of sleep and it's significantly reduced. I think if you I think that the one study I saw once, I think it was 5 hours of sleep. If your insulin sensitivity was good the day before, you're basically pre-diabetic that day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Or were you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The other thing I was just going to mention is the getting outdoors more during this season of life, especially morning and midday. It's going to help with both your insulin sensitivity, but also your sex hormones are made partly from the signaling you get during the midday, especially, but it's even amplified if you can get out in the morning. And so we're talking about literally a decline of sex hormones that's causing a lot of this havoc that's going on inside you. And so if you can actually improve the production of your sex hormones by getting more outdoor exposure during this time and morning exposure. So like if you can take a break during work to take a 10-minute walk at noon during your lunch break and get out for 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, something like that sometimes improves both insulin sensitivity and a hormone profile significantly. Now, obviously, you're on the back end of this now. You're on the perimenopause train, so hormones are declining, but you can at least try and keep them at decent levels for as long as possible. And it may up that testosterone and progesterone in the meantime and allow them to decline at a more steady rate instead of having more instability.
Yeah, it should promote a lot more stability. Yeah, a lot of this also comes down to stress reduction. And so all the things that we just talked about help with stress management. But a big component of that is going to be your morning routine. When we wake up, cortisol goes up. That's normal. But you just want the biological amount that's necessary to go up. If you wake up in the morning, especially as a woman, and you start working, you start getting the kids, whatever the thing might be that you have to do immediately after waking, that cortisol increase in the morning is going to be very magnified. The first hour of a woman's day is very important. It's more important for women to keep this in mind than men. And that usually looks like having a very quiet morning. And during that time, it's great to walk. You want to get 30 grams of protein as early as possible upon waking, get hydrated. This is time to read your Bible, pray, those types of things. Get up before everyone else if you have to. Go to bed early.
Yeah.
That will make a difference. And just getting outside for a few minutes. If you have a red light device, shine that on yourself when you're drinking your coffee or whatever it might be. Although I do recommend not drinking coffee until you've been awake for 2 hours. But whenever, all these habits that you're doing that I just mentioned, if you can have a red light device shining on you, that's going to help. Getting outside for a little bit, that's going to help. But keeping everything really calm for the first hour of the day is very important and going to help with sleep that night. It's going to help with the hormone issues and everything else.
Yeah.
And
Lifting weights. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to talk about lifting weights, so go ahead.
Perfect.
I wanted to be a little bit more specific about what we mean when we say lift weights, because I think whenever we say that to somebody, they're just picturing a barbell and someone who knows what they're doing, and they know that they don't know what they're doing. So you really don't have to start with much. Like if you're not working out at all right now, starting with some body weight stuff is fine.
Yes.
Just squatting with a full range of motion, pressing things. Some women are embarrassed to go to the gym for the first time. So if you don't want to get a gym membership and you don't have stuff at home, like get some gallon water bottles. You can do a lot of just resistance training with those and like use them like they're dumbbells until you feel like you're ready to go out, or just order some dumbbells, some resistance bands.
They're out.
It doesn't have to be
small dumbbells
very
are at
complicated.
Walmart.
Yeah. And I've been recommending a lot of the adjustable dumbbells. For our family, they're probably not the best option because like my husband's already surpassed the weight that they can go to, or he'll drop them too hard and they break. But for a lot of women just starting out, they're fine. And they're making them stronger than they used to. So they're not as flimsy anymore.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options there. Do lunges, do squats, do resistance band deadlifts, shoulder presses, rowing with the bands. Like there's so many things that you can do that aren't intimidating or putting you in an intimidating situation until you feel ready to go to the gym.
Yes.
But I would encourage, if you're able to get a gym membership, because they're really not judging you. And they can help you out. So you don't have to be doing all this crazy barbell stuff.
Mhm.
If you're able to work up to it, that's great. But when I'm saying lifting weights, you don't have to be intense and screaming and grunting and all of that stuff. Just do like
No.
3 sets of 10 to 12 or whatever you're doing. Hit
Mm-hmm.
every muscle group twice a week for
Yeah.
30 to 45 minutes is enough to start out.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You won't get bulky.
yeah, I promise, especially at that age.
I've been
Yeah,
trying.
any
so hard.
woman. I don't. I mean, we are so many. We get comments on social media, messages. People say things, whatever, and I feel like it's a constant myth we're still dispelling about. Women think they're going to get like big Death Star shoulders from training. Both Emily and Amanda have been training consistently for many years. They do not have big shoulders. I promise. That won't happen on accident. That only happens with drugs and very intense training and a lot of food.
Yeah.
You have to go out of your way to do it with performance enhancing
Yeah.
drugs. No woman who's listening to this is in danger of having big muscular arms.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. You can train like crazy. Even if you eat like crazy, it won't happen. Women just aren't that capable of naturally putting on that much muscle mass. You won't get bulky. Don't worry about it. The only bulk that a woman could appreciably put on is body fat. So like, don't have that fear. I don't know why this has been going around, because it's not like when you walk around in society or you go to the gym, you don't see women with big bulky shoulders. Like it's very like, even when I compete in strongman, the women don't have big bulky shoulders, and a bunch of them are on PEDs. Like it's just not, it's not much of a thing that needs to be you need to be concerned about. You will look more feminine with muscle mass on your body. It does enhance the female figure, and that's a good that's a good thing. But we don't like. It's a myth. It's totally unsubstantiated. Women just can't carry that much muscle mass, so please don't worry about that. You
Yeah.
will look better and feel better. Your insulin sensitivity will be better. Your bone mineral density will be better. Your joints will be better off. This has only benefits, and I promise you'll not look like a man. It won't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, this is like the
Yeah.
third time I've said this week, but like I never get asked if I lift weights by other women. I just look like generally fit, And so like they always ask, "Oh, are you a runner?" I'm like, "No, I actually almost never run, but I've been lifting weights for most of a decade." And they're always like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like,
Exactly.
but they ask that because I don't look like a man.
My name is Justin Johnson with High Calling Fitness. Maybe you're tired, gaining weight, waking up with joint pain, back pain, and a body that just doesn't feel like it used to. You've tried to fix it, but nothing seems to last. What if you don't need another app or crash diet, but a real coach, someone to meet you where you're at and walk with you step by step? At High Calling Fitness, our coaching comes to you wherever you are. No matter where you live, small town or city, across the country or across the world, your health still matters. You don't have to go it alone. We build personalized plans based on your goals, your schedule, and your equipment, even if it's just a set of dumbbells in a small space. This isn't just training, it's a personal partnership. You'll get weekly updates, one-on-one access to your coach, and ongoing support through Zoom and Slack every step of the way. We're here to help you build strength, restore energy, and claim the life you were meant to live. Book a free consult today. Let's talk about your goals and see how we can build something better together. High Calling Fitness, built for the everyday, ready for the extraordinary. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. it's I think it's silly. So
It's the silliest.
I would also encourage separating your lifting from your cardio. Like you don't have to do high intensity using like CrossFit style workouts to do this. You kind of diminish the results of both by doing that. It's not necessarily as good for cardio. It's not necessarily as good for building and maintaining muscle. So if you enjoy it and there's nothing else that you will do, fine, do that. It's better than nothing. But
Yeah.
if
I
you're
mean, I do
able
my
to,
sprints after leg day, but
yeah,
is it optimal?
yeah,
No, it's just what I do.
right. I mean, I don't necessarily mean separate it by a matter of time, but like don't use your weightlifting as your cardio.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
That,
yeah,
You
yeah.
can,
that
yeah,
style of lifting is
Yeah,
not ideal. Yeah.
that
yeah,
style of
it's not.
lifting and going on long walks, a little bit low intensity, more steady state is
Hmm.
very stress relieving as well. So
Yeah,
you
it
can
is.
you can keep your cortisol down that way.
Yeah.
Get outside to
Yeah.
do
I
it, like
actually have
Emily was talking about.
for sure. Yeah. I have a lady right now. She's in perimenopause, you could say that age. And she's been doing like dance aerobic workouts. She's just like, it just makes me so happy. And my heart rate gets up high enough. I'm like, yeah, you go for it, girl.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, if
that's
you
the
like
thing.
it.
A lot
Yeah.
of people worry about like what kind of cardio is running best. Like the thing that you enjoy and can do consistently is the best cardio for you. It doesn't like make your knees ache or whatever else. Like you might have to find that thing, but it exists, and just do that. I've had people ask like, "What's the best cardio?" There isn't the best cardio. Cardio is anything that gets your heart rate up.
Yeah.
So like, I don't care what the cardio is. I'm not a big fan of running for most people because most people get joint pain from it because it's high impact, especially while they're lifting. But if you like to do whatever the thing is, if you like to ride a bike, if you like rucking, if you like,
Yeah. A
dance
rower
stuff,
or
anything it doesn't matter. The format doesn't matter. Do the thing that you enjoy doing, and you have fun doing, and you're going to stick with. That's the best cardio for you.
Yeah.
So if you like it, then do it, and probably do more of it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's really that simple. There's no like. I remember all these things. Oh, rowers are the best, and bikes are the best. All like people have said that stuff forever. There's no best cardio. There really isn't. Cardio is cardio. Elevating your heart rate. It's the numbers. What's the beats per minute? Run that. Just if you're gonna do it, then that's the one that's best for you. That's really all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
So this last part is a part that's kind of like my least favorite.
Yeah. That's why it's last.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so like, because people are going to ask and wonder, and not saying wrongfully so, like what types of supplements should they be thinking about? And to pre-frame this, supplements do not ever make up for bad lifestyle. These are to enhance good lifestyle choices you're making. You can't compensate for a bad diet or sedentary lifestyle or violating all the other things that we've talked about with supplements. But what they do often have the effect of is making it so that the good choices you're doing go further. And we're not saying that everyone should take all of these. We're saying that they might be right for you in certain circumstances because each one of them does something different. None of them, these are over-the-counter supplements, except for we're going to talk about hormone replacement very last. These are over-the-counter supplements. Guess what? If you can get it over the counter, it probably doesn't do that much. So don't expect it to be like some huge game-changing thing. The game-changing things are the diet and lifestyle and training and all that other kind of stuff. These are going to have subtle effects that are helpful, but like don't expect them to be the thing that's the game changer or the like key to unlocking everything that you're looking for. They'll just give you that edge that you might be seeking if you're dealing with specific types of symptoms or whatever that we'll talk about for each one. So because we can go down the list, guys.
Well, first magnesium, and we have to be specific on the kind, or else you might have a laxative on your hands. So,
Unless you need
magnesium
a laxative on your hands.
magnesium glycinate is going to
Yeah.
be the magnesium that you want. So, all magnesium is going to have some sort of pulling water into the digestive system and helping with digestion.
Yeah.
But magnesium citrate is actually a laxative. So, don't use that one. It's not going to do what you're looking for. So magnesium glycinate also can help with reducing your stress. It can help you kind of relax. So in the way that muscles contract when you're like working out, like you need calcium to contract and you need magnesium to relax it. So if you're feeling like really tense at night, magnesium's a good thing to take before bed. I'd recommend that one at night for sure, because it does help with
Yeah,
kind of calming you down.
Yeah. And it can help
Yeah.
if you're experiencing insomnia as well sometimes.
Yeah, and I would say I wouldn't put citrate down either. It is the most studied of the magnesiums for having certain positive effects. It's just not my first go-to.
Yeah.
If you are particularly struggling with digestion, I think it can have a greater positive impact on digestion if someone's particularly struggling in that area. But you do have to be particularly careful with it because it can mess you up if you take
Yeah,
too
I'd say
much.
like
So
it's more for like an acute need, not necessarily ongoing like
yeah,
glycinate could be.
yeah. Yeah, glycinate I think has far more positive effect in most people
Yeah.
in general, as far as mentally, and that's our go-to for sure. This next one I want to preface real quick because so DIM, yes, calcium. I see a lot of women supplementing with calcium that I've talked to, and they also talk to me about all the cramps they're getting, especially at night. If you're eating a healthy diet, you probably do not need calcium, like actual calcium. Please don't bother taking it. It's not something overloading your body with calcium doesn't make you grow more dense bones. It doesn't work that way. Bone formation is based on stimulus, and stimulus is from impact to the bones, stressing the bones, flexing the bones, from movement and things like that. If you're eating a generally healthy diet, you're getting plenty of calcium. We're not generally calcium deficient with the diets that we have in America. So it's not usually something you need to seek out. And it is very promoting of having cramps, like very, very, it makes you very cramp prone, which you're going to be cramp prone anyway if you're perimenopausal or postmenopausal.
Yeah, a lot of forms of calcium as well, if you're taking them alongside your other supplements, which most people do take their supplements pretty much all at the same time, it's going to prevent the absorption of a lot of things. So
Yeah.
calcium, like a Tums, for example, is a calcium type of calcium, and it's like to absorb that extra stuff. Like it's very absorbent.
Yeah.
So it can absorb what you're trying to get from your other supplements, and then it doesn't
Yeah.
even go into your bloodstream. So I would, even if you do for a medical reason have to take calcium, take it at a different time of day from your other supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah, with both of these, DIM and the calcium D-glucarate, these are both for estrogen metabolism. So if you're in a chronically high estrogen state, and one of them, so estrogen, before you clear it through pooping, it goes through two different phases of metabolism. Some people say detox. I just try and stay away from the word detox these days. I would rather use the word metabolism. So it goes through two phases of metabolizing before you process it. And the DIM helps with one phase, and the calcium D-glucarate can help with another phase. And so again, these are just like tiny pieces of the bigger picture. And so everything we've already talked about is going to move the needle like way more than these supplements. And if you know that you're in that high estrogen state, even if you want to try a DIM or a calcium D-glucarate, get a very small dose pill, because some of these come in really high dosages and can mess you up. So start with like almost the smallest dose pill you could get. You can always work it up a little bit. And I would want to work with someone if I was going to take these personally.
Yeah, it does help with estrogen clearance in the gut. So it's only needed if you're doing all the other things right. You're still dealing with like constipation, things like that. It can definitely help. Just it's something to be cautious of. I think is the main takeaway. Vitex or chasteberry for progesterone production. That's actually a new one to me.
Oh, really?
That one, I actually took for quite a long time to manage PCOS symptoms. So it helps with your natural progesterone production. It does build up in the system, so it takes time for it to begin working. It comes in different forms. You can get it in a liquid. You can get it in a capsule, either from the fruit itself, or there's some other way that it comes as well. I found the liquids, they just absorb very quickly, and even if you do a small dose, like for me, I got like screaming migraines, and it turns out that's a symptom, that's a side effect that a lot of women get from the liquid because it absorbs just so
Too
fast.
fast.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So the capsules are fine. There's a sometimes there's a recommendation to do the like front loading, almost like creatine. Some people say, "Well, take 10
Yeah.
or 20 grams of creatine and then
Hmm.
for X amount of weeks, and then drop it down to the 5 a day." A lot of Vitex supplements will say to do something similar, like if they're in capsules, take 2 of these in the morning and 2 at night, and
Yeah.
after 4 weeks then just take 1 in the morning. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
stay with the regular dose. If you do use this, it can be hepatotoxic if you take it for too long, so you will want to cycle off of it.
Yeah.
But I've noticed, when I was taking it, it was helpful for lessening. Well, for me, I used it not for perimenopause purposes, but it was helpful for lessening period symptoms, like as much moodiness and breast tenderness and super bad cramps and all things like that. So
Hmm.
it helped for that. It can help with low progesterone symptoms during perimenopause and menopause as well. Just be responsible and cycle off of it once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And omega-3, which pretty much most people should supplement anyway, or at least actually probably should rephrase that. They should be mindful of their omega profile.
Yeah.
This is equally applicable to everyone. Your omega profile, as far as your diet, has a very strong correlation with your cardiovascular health long term anyway. And to me, I've said this so many times before, the easiest way to try to get this looking, and you can do the test is really easy. You can get omega-3, omega-6 blood test. It's cheap. It's easy to get. You can, if you're working through your doctor can probably order it for you. But if you want to get it on your own, it's very easy to do. The best way that I have found through diet to modify it is to cook with everything in Wagyu beef tallow. Boston Packing, it's on Amazon. It's often at Costco. It's all over the place. I have done blood work with no intervention, and then Emily cooks almost exclusively with that. If it's in a pan, it's in Wagyu beef tallow. After 90 days, my omega profile changed drastically, and we've used it ever since. It tastes great too, and it's also like a very practical like cooking oil, if you will, because it has a really high smoke point, so you can cook basically anything in it. It'll taste good. It won't turn rancid. It won't burn. And that's, in my opinion, what you should be looking at first. Is just the oils that you're cooking with. Yes, like olive oil does have a pretty good omega profile. The problem is it has a very low smoke point, and so it turns rancid, and then the omega-3s are destroyed anyway. So you're not really getting anything in particular out of it unless you're having it cold. So it's great for like your salad dressing to be based on olive oil or something like that. But in my opinion, if you're cooking with it, the king is Wagyu beef tallow. And it's not very expensive. It might sound like it's expensive because Wagyu and all that. It's not very expensive at all. So I would go that route first. If you want to take a pill, I'm kind of actually more of a fan of the oils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a cod liver oil.
Yeah, I am definitely. And you need to watch it with those. Make sure you're getting it from a reputable brand that's done some degree of testing or something, because a lot of those are rancid. They'll make your stomach upset. And when it's rancid, it's really no good for you. It's just going to cause a bunch of inflammation. It's going to cause gut problems and other things like that. You might not really notice it necessarily, but a lot of people would notice it.
Yeah. Get one that has to be kept in the fridge is a good kind of
Yeah,
rule.
generally, if you're getting those fish burps, like you may get some a little bit anyway, but if they're noticeable, that's usually a sign that
Yeah.
it's rancid. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing you can do is crack open a capsule and smell it. If it smells a little fishy, that's fine. But there's a particular smell that it gets, like that most of them have. There's like a gross smell. It's probably not right. It's probably not what you want. And there are flavored oil ones that you can use with a dropper. They're kind of expensive, but they do taste good.
Yeah, they do. I buy the Nordic Naturals brand, and you keep it in the fridge. And what's nice is like for an adult, a serving's a teaspoon. For a kid, it's like half a teaspoon. So it is like $40 for a bottle, but a bottle lasts like a decent amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use that, especially because we live in the Pacific Northwest, especially in the winter for my kids, because it does also, it's not just omega-3, but it has a natural vitamin D and K as part of that profile. And so I use that for them in the wintertime. But
Yeah, that would be the main thing, though. I would say is like just change your cooking oil first, and then you can do a blood test, see what your ratios are, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah.
You might not need to actually supplement it because probably a lot of the omega-6s you're getting that are keeping them high and keeping omega-3s low. It's just because of the food that the oils that you're using to cook with and things like that. Fiber supplements, everyone's favorite topic.
Metamucil.
I mean, it does work. Yeah, it does work. If you're going to do that, I'm more of a fan of like the gummies just because it's an easy format and you don't have to mix anything.
I think that if you're going to do these, if it's based on psyllium husk, like if that's where the fiber is coming from, it tends to work a little bit better. A lot of them are like corn based, which is fine. I have no problem with corn, but it just doesn't seem to be as effective as the psyllium husk ones. And I would say for this, really only if you need it, only if you're not able to hit the target with your diet. Otherwise, you can cause more problems. So
if you're getting 2 servings of fruit, 2 servings of veggies a day, you probably don't need to worry about fiber supplementation. It's very rare that that's a problem. If you're still constipated, it's more likely that you're just eating a particular food that's causing an irritation, and that's the problem. It doesn't just come down to fiber. You just might have a food sensitivity that you're not aware of. And it's probably just a particular thing in your diet you need to avoid. That could be hard to pinpoint sometimes, but more often than not, it's just something in your diet that needs to be eliminated for a time. You might be able to come back to it, but probably in more moderation.
Yeah.
I do want to add one as well, because I mentioned it briefly earlier, is creatine.
Yes, totally.
So it's going to really help with not just the muscle effects of it, but also with brain fog. It's really good for cognitive reasons.
It reduces brain inflammation. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All the ladies should be taking creatine.
Everybody should take it whether you lift or not. There's so much good data on the cognitive benefits alone. So now let's talk real quick on the hormone replacement options. Typically, progesterone is what you might be looking into. And for some women, they'll actually get a pretty profound effect from progesterone cream over the counter. The best that we found, I think it's Ona, right? Yeah, Ona's. It used to be on Amazon. It's the higher potency one is not on Amazon, but you can order it directly from them. It's not particularly expensive, goes a long way. And usually applying that to the breasts works really well. Typically, you want to apply it post-ovulation and then until you bleed, basically. But you can use it throughout your cycle if you want. You're just going to have to see how interruptive it is for you. But that can help with leveling out some of the symptoms of perimenopause and just actually making your cycle go smoother and things like that.
Yeah, the creams are highly effective and far less side effects than a pill. So
I usually just would say for hormone supplementation or replacement or anything, in general, anything you take orally is not going to be effective and is inviting other side effects, symptoms, and health concerns for all of these. I'm just generally not a fan, especially estrogen. Oral estrogen is the worst in my opinion. It shouldn't be used for hormone replacement for anybody as far as I'm concerned. The next is, of course, going to be testosterone. That will typically provide a lot of symptom relief for a woman. The doses are really, really tiny, so a little bit goes a long way. Often, like 5 milligrams a week is all that you need, and you'll notice a very profound effect from that. We're not trying to get a woman to have high testosterone, but getting it close to 100 or something like that is usually adequate to provide symptom relief, provide a sense of well-being and to correct a lot of the other things we're dealing with. And very rarely, estrogen supplementation may be needed. Usually that would be with a cream or something. I believe there are still some estrogen cream products. You just have to be careful with any cream products, but especially estrogen, that you wash your hands thoroughly, that nobody touches you where you've applied it for at least 2 hours, because you can get it on other people, get it on your kids, things like that. I think almost no woman really needs to supplement estrogen until they're postmenopausal, and even postmenopausal women, it's very, very rare because you start to get it from testosterone aromatization if you're taking testosterone, and it's just probably not warranted. You're getting enough usually from the testosterone. Some women do they do feel a little better on it. If you do need it postmenopausal, probably the best is actually injections, and the dose is like 1 milligram a week. It takes like nothing to get you what you need. I've heard of women being put on like 10 milligrams of estrogen a week and stuff like that from some of these hormone clinics. That will probably make you very cranky and irritable and super sympathetic. Don't generally recommend that. But it could be worth exploring, but I would add one thing at a time. And there should be many weeks between, probably at least 3 months between each as you add these things. But typically it's progesterone, then testosterone, and then explore estrogen maybe, but probably you just need to actually get your progesterone and testosterone protocol dialed in correctly before even thinking about estrogen. And again, I think it's very, very rare that estrogen is actually warranted, needed, or useful.
Yeah.
I don't have any clients
It's
that are
the one that you hear
estrogen.
about the most, though. Like whenever you're talking
know.
about
it's so weird.
The go-to is, oh, you're postmenopausal. We'll put you on hormone replacement, and they give you estrogen pills.
Yeah.
They give you estradiol,
Just like,
Valerte. Yeah. And you'll be put on like 1 milligram a day, maybe 2 milligrams a day. Not good. It's not giving you what you need. It's cranking your SHBG, which is also making it so that all of the hormones in your body are less bioavailable anyway. It is a little bit stressful on your liver. It's not horrible, but it's not the best. And you'll probably be constipated, probably be irritable. Estrogen is the last thing you should reach for, and never in pill form. I do not know. I have not run across a use case for oral estrogen for women that should be taken regularly.
Yeah. And stay away from there's a ton of HRT groups on Facebook or whatever full of these postmenopausal women that advocate for basically the higher you can get your levels, the better. Just stay away from those. Those ladies are crazy and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, very true.
Sounds like men and their testosterone.
Exactly.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We actually feel good when our testosterone's high. Women don't.
Yeah, some of these women are on 30 milligrams a week of testosterone. It's like, I'm like a teenage boy, and then you go in there and you try and have conversation. It's like, yeah, I could tell.
So how much of a beard have you developed in the last few months?
Yeah. How much hair have you lost from your head?
and found it somewhere else. Yeah. So I think that's a good flyby. I hope this was helpful to everybody. If you guys have questions about this, we do obviously help a lot of women and men navigate this. It's hormones are a lot more complicated for women than they are for men. Men are actually way more simple, way easier to deal with. But if you want help, of course, reach out to us on any of the social pages or book a meeting with us on highcallingfitness.com. Be super happy to help you guys with any of this stuff. And until then, gains and grace.
Gains and grace.
Gains and grace.